Everyone, this is Melissa with Two Peas in a Bucket, and I'm here with this week's installment of Project Life with Two Peas. I'm going to start off with something that's probably going to make you think I've lost my mind. I am going to make a layout with just 7 horizontal photos and a set of 7 journaling cards along with a decorative card on one end and a title card on the other. You may recognize that format as the classic Design A or the original Project Life, and I'll explain why in just a bit. But first I want to get started on this layout with these journaling card sheets from the Sweet Notes collection by Webster's Pages. So the reason I'm going back to basics on this layout, and by the way, this is not the only layout I will do this week. There will actually be a second one as well, but I'm going back to basics because on the thread that I posted several months ago asking what questions people would like answered, a lot of people said they would like some tips on getting caught up. And I've also seen lots of threads of people who are feeling stressed out because they're behind. And so I just kind of want to give some encouragement and show some ways to make Project Life a lot easier. And one of those ways is to go back to the very basics, to choose just 7 photos for your week, have a journaling card for each one, and do minimal or no embellishment and move on. But one of the other things that I want to talk about, and that's the reason I'm letting you watch me dither through journaling cards for a couple of minutes here, is how I approach being caught up on Project Life. And my thought on that is that being caught up is completely overrated. I don't try to stay caught up on my Project Life layouts at all. And I do try to do at least one a week, as I said in my very first video for Two Peas way back in January. But this layout is actually from 2011. There are several pages in my 2011 album that got skipped over, and I just kind of skip around and go back and forth and do what I feel like doing, just like I do with my regular scrapbook pages. So if I could completely erase those words caught up from your scrapbooking vocabulary, especially where Project Life is concerned, I would. So my best advice for you is just to approach Project Life like any of your other layouts. Work on it when you feel like it. Work on the week's photos that are most inspiring to you on the time, and don't worry about the rest. So that's my little speech for you today, and now I will get back to the creative side of things. For the last couple of minutes, and it really did only take me about 2 minutes to choose which journaling cards went where, I've just been trying to balance cards across the left side and the right side, and you'll see that I even left 2 cards together in that top left corner as a title spot. I went ahead and put all my journaling on the cards, and now I'm going to add just a little bit of embellishment. Now these embellishments, like I said, they're completely optional. This layout is just perfectly fine on its own with just journaling and photos. But if you want to add a few little creative bits, there are some quick and easy things you can do to add some interest to your pages. One of my favorite things to do is to cut an item in half and have part of it look like it's hanging off the card, because it adds some movement to your page, but is really very easy because all you have to do is adhere the item and then trim off the edge. My second tip is to look at the color scheme in your journaling cards and to only choose embellishments from your supplies that match those. I keep all of my embellishments in color drawers, and so I only pulled out the orange, aqua, green, and pink drawers when I was looking for items like this cute little aqua paperclip. That's a Two Peas exclusive from Freckled Fawn. So I'll just find a few small items like that to add to the cards here and there. And on my title card, I'm also going to keep it very simple. This is a chipboard piece, a self-adhesive piece from Basic Gray. This is from the Knee Highs and Bow Ties collection. And since there was already a label spot printed on that journaling card, I'll just stick it right in there. It's a ready-made spot for it. So find little things like that that you can use as shortcuts. The letter stickers, these are from the Snap collection by Simple Stories, and I'm just putting a date on there, and this is all the embellishment I'm going to do on my title card. Now I also have this card on the right side that is sort of the decorative bit, and that's where I will do a little bit more, but it's only one fun card for the week. It won't take very long. And again, I'm going to take a chipboard piece and hang it off the edge and trim it. This is an Artisan Chipboard Heart by Pink Paisley, and I misted it with some Heidi Swap color mist. Actually, it was one that I had misted months ago for another project and never used, and I pulled it out and it just happened to match here. So I'm going to layer it over a label sticker from My Mind's Eye and get everything lined up properly and stick that down, and once again just trim the edge off of that heart and it creates just a little bit of movement on the page. I've pulled another piece of chipboard from that same basic gray collection, and I'm going to start embellishing this card that has the bicycle on it. And I've just pulled out a tiny aqua butterfly, again staying with that same color scheme, and then a few of the pink and green candy dot, the enamel dots from basic gray. And these are great to adhere in clusters of 3, and you can use anything for this. If you don't have enamel dots, you can also use rhinestones. And you'll see I'm going to add a pink set around this heart. That heart was already printed on the card, so I'm just accenting what was already there. You can use, like I said, rhinestones, pearls if you have them, anything small and round. You can also use stickles. So you'll see this is the finished layout there. This actually took about 30 minutes from start to finish to complete. So it was really a very quick way to get my photos for the weekend. The second layout is going to answer another question that was in that same thread I talked about earlier. And for this one, I'm going to start with journaling cards from the Pier by Crepe Paper. I love the summer color scheme in this line. And you can see I'm trying to match up the colors in the photos. So I've got the orange from that t-shirt and the orange in the Good Day Sunshine. And I'm actually skipping ahead a bit here, and I've pulled out some LE Studio from, I believe that's either Saltwater or Cameron, because there weren't any 4x6 journaling cards in that crepe paper collection. And so I pulled out a package of LE Studio that did include those. But I'm doing the second layout because somebody had asked to see a page that had just 4x6 and 4x3 photos, but still had some embellishment and some of the decorative bits to it. Even though this layout wasn't quite as fast as this first, it's still a great way to catch up. This layout took about 45 minutes, so about 15 minutes longer than the other one. And I really want to use this pull tab card from LE Studio, but it won't work very well in that bottom pocket. And neither will that orange one because it just puts too much orange in one spot. So I just flipped around the cards and made sure that pull tab is at the top of a pocket, and it's also broken up that block of orange. But then I decided I liked this green and yellow stripe after all. It kind of toned things down a bit. The orange was very bold and was calling a lot of attention to itself. And now I'm ready to add some embellishment, but first I'd probably better get the journaling in place because every once in a while I find that I've added too many journaling cards. And I ended up not needing that orange card, so I'm replacing it with this pretty one with a set of balloons on it that still includes some orange and some bright colors that I can use to make a title card. But then having that card on top of the ampersand with the cream background was just too much cream in one spot, which is easily fixed by simply sliding everything over and putting that card in place. So now that I know that's going to be my title card, I'm going to start there for my embellishment and spell out the date using these thickers, also from the Pier by Crepe Paper, except that after I finished the layout, I realized that I had looked at the wrong week on the calendar and put the wrong dates in. So when you see this layout at the end of the video, it will actually have the correct dates put in. Luckily, everything pulled up okay, and I could redo it without tearing up that card. Those small stickers again are from Snap by Simple Stories. And now that my title card's in place, I can work on the rest of the embellishment and try to get everything balanced out. And I'm going to start with these tiny little word strips. There was a sheet of paper in the Pier, again from Crepe Paper, that included a bunch of tags and some border strips and also a bunch of cut apart words. And so I'm going to stick mostly to words and small items on this page, and again, not make the embellishment very elaborate. The idea here is to get it done quickly, but to still enjoy the process and to have something that I like when I'm finished. Now I have this awkward space beside the ampersand where my journaling is squared off, but it's a bit more organic. So I'm going to fix that using some washi tape because I can just tear the edge, again that gives it a bit more of an organic look, and just layer a couple of strips to fill in that gap and to give it a little bit more flow. Again, sticking to just words for embellishments here for a minute, this little label section is perfect to spell out a word, and since it's about organizing some things in my house and about a birthday gift from my brother, I thought that the word stuff would be appropriate. So I just pulled out those same snap letters from Simple Stories and quickly spelled it out. I have the little fabulous down there by the t-shirt photo that is kind of getting lost, and so I want something to go behind it. And at first I thought maybe this scallop border, but in the end decided to go with this flag sticker, also from the Pier. just to give it a little bit of a border and something to help it stand up off of that page. So just adhere that down and then adhere the word on top of it. And then also go ahead and adhere the remainder of the embellishments on this page down, including a pair of wood veneer arrows and a small piece of chipboard from the collectible collection by My Mind's Eye that I added off camera a little bit earlier. With everything stuck down, it's time for a few finishing touches, and again, my go-to for this lately has been enamel dots. I like adding them in clusters of 3 just to add a little sprinkle of something. You probably learned that from Shamel's videos. She's always adding things in groups of 3. It's very pleasing to the eye. So it's a great way to do that. And again, like I said, you can use rhinestones, you can use pearls or anything, but I really, really love the enamel dots. The first round of dots I added was plain brown, so I decided that we needed something that was a little bit brighter and pulled out a selection of enamel dots from the Boy Crazy line. I had not gotten around to cutting these apart for my color drawers yet. Usually I will just cut them into strips and put each colored enamel dot in a different drawer. But this was fine. I was able to find the orange ones pretty quickly, and I'm just going to sprinkle a few of those around to brighten things up a bit. So your challenge this week is just to get a layout done. If you do Project Life, great. Otherwise, just do a regular layout. And I really hope that this video has helped you to maybe not be stressed out and not look at Project Life as something that you have to be caught up on. Remember to make it fun. Thanks for watching and have a great week.